What's going on, everybody? Viscount Gregor Hawke here, and welcome to my 100 shots a day, 100 days Pell challenge. This is my day 71. And my guys and my gals, dude, I'm not feeling too good today. I don't know, my stomach's been bugging me all day, man. Like seriously. So I don't think I'm gonna overdo it, but I do still want to Pell. And I'm kind of in between feeling okay, and it's getting late at night again. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start out with mirror training, because this is defense month for me, where my main focus is my defense. I put a lot of focus in the offense, which is generally what I like to do. Train the O first, get your offense really good, then really work on your defense while you're still working on your offense. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just approach my mirror, different angles, throw my shots, and I'm looking at my shield to see where it is. So I'm not really hitting the pail, I'm just kind of phantom throwing things. But I want to watch my approach in the mirror so I can actually see what the hell is going on. There are at least one thing I'm going to be working on today, and I keep dying because it's a shield thing. So I'm going to be working on that on the pail, but first I want to watch myself in the mirror when I do stuff. Okay, so the one thing I want to work on the pail, and I've died multiple times to it, I'm baiting people for my head. As I am approaching, I'm kind of dropping my corner and opening my head intentionally, and it's a bait thing that I do. So they actually fire so I can catch in house. My big thing is I'm leaning forward, and subconsciously I'm not bringing my corner back up. And I have been pasted in the head very hard because of that mistake. So the big thing on this training month, shield month, is I'm going to be practicing in the mirror a lot so I can see what I'm doing. And I'm going to train myself to bring that corner up when I go for the offsets, because I need to, or I'm going to get my head torn. Okay, it's not so bad when I'm looking in the mirror, looking at it. I'm going to do what I used to do before. And I would catch it in the head because my corner's down like that. And the big thing is I have to be careful not to do that, because that is also equally, if not worse. So I gotta do kind of a slight crouch, and I can still see, and I can still cover and retreat. We don't have a lot of Florentine guys up here anymore like we used to. We used to have the cream of the crop up here, man. I'm telling you, some of the best Florentine guys lived up here, and unfortunately I don't get that training anymore. But there are a lot more Florentiners down in the States. So I'm going to be practicing another thing too, which is fire, fire, retreat. It works really good against lefties because they almost always counterpunch you. Like you fire, and they fire under and get you in the body, get you in the leg, and it's a really good combination. You're just like, boom, and you just turn your hand over and retreat. And they'll just catch the sword. In most cases, because they're going to be firing for your body or your leg. Almost every time, especially if you get their leg. Alright, so let me just watch what I'm doing some more. So bad. I'm really trying to focus on not tabling my shield so much. Not so bad. A very good expert fighter can time that if it goes. So let me do a little bit more of a crouch. That's better. They're not getting under that. Yep, I like that. Okay. This is why mirror training is so powerful, everybody. Just so you can see basically what your opponent sees. Of course, everything is the reverse, it's a mirror, but what I'm really looking for angles of my shield, my steps, my blow technique, everything. I can see all that. That's why I like it. Yeah, getting way better than just walking out there and trying to do speed and still catching, because I'm not just bringing that corner. My squire's caught me on that 2 times now. And I've died to other people, so I know it's a problem. And he's sitting there and waiting. And although he's trading with me, we're both dying, I would rather not die. And I would rather just get the shot in there and still block, of course. And I will be doing an hourglass instructional video probably tomorrow if I feel better. So keep your eyes peeled for that. And that's one thing I'm really working now, guys. When I picked up the center boss shield, I don't know what happened, because I used to have phenomenal footwork. Like all these X's, all these angles, all of it was ingrained into the fighter I was. And I lost that. I got very stationary and lazy when I did it, when I switched over. I didn't have to, but I just kind of fell into that. So I'm really working it hard, because I know every time I train repetition, eventually it transfers to the field. So I'm kind of still in the process of it. Like I review some of my footage and I still catch myself walking in straight lines, retreating in straight lines. And I also see myself occasionally doing this stuff, creeping up on my opponent like that. It's just, you're really telling your opponent which direction you're going to go or can go and what side you're weak on. So I need to start getting that back. And that's why I have been like super training on the hourglass. I moved my Pell over there. Before I was kind of doing it at range with these 3 marks, but now I'm trying to do it with full range, because I'm really trying to get the footwork back that I lost when I became very stationary. So. But yeah, if you have the ability to mirror train, I highly recommend it. And those mirrors I got were super cheap, like $5 to $7 each or something. And just kind of tacked them up and taped them up there. And they're amazing. Like, and I try to couple video with mirrors when I have the opportunity. If I'm not doing mirrors, I have my video. And if I'm not doing video, like back in the day, I had mirrors. One of the greatest teaching tools in history. Just a piece of glass. I don't think I'm bringing that corner up enough. Yeah, I like that. That change of height too is going to screw people. They're going to think leg as they're firing through my head. And I can just bring that right up into their head. That is really funny, because a friend of mine shared a random meme. Don't lead with your head. And that's exactly what I was doing before. I would drop the corner to bait, and I would come in and I would like land that shot, but then I would occasionally get killed. Like the last fighter practice with Squire, I got him multiple times in a row, and one of those he fucking clubbed me. Pardon my French. But yeah, he clubbed me. A lot of it seems to be on my offsides, because I'm dropping my corner to do the setup. So I'm doing this, they fire, catch, but I'm not bringing that corner back to home position. Therein lies the problem. And every time I don't, my square is to the point where I make a stupid mistake like that, he sees it, he kills me. So I've got to really limit my mistakes now against him. So he works for it. Pretty much everybody, you know. Alright, so there's another setup I want to practice as well. And it has to do with this one. And it's going to be a sword block. So I fire here, and I'm practicing for the moment where they come over my sword and try to hit me in the head. So what I really want is outside block, off body. And I think since I'm on Shield Week, what I really need to do is, and visualization is huge, everybody. I'll be making another video about that too. But you need to go to fighter practices and start looking for situations that happen a lot, like across the board, for people as people, not just as individual people, but what people do as a whole. For the most part. So you're looking for situations like that. And when you can actually start to train for them. So what I need to do, since it's Shield Month, is I really need to start working my visualization part where I'm coming in, they fire over the top, I get here, I step to here, but I'm practicing my shield grip, coming in at the exact same time as my sword blow. That's key. That's one of the big reasons why I'm exceptionally strong with the off body, is because of the way my shield works with the shot. And I don't think I did it because I was talking, but move, catch. And it's really one of those shield contacts, their shield, a nanosecond later my sword hits you, or even at the exact same time. And it gives them basically zero time. They can close it as far as your shield and then it stops. And that's all the room my sword needs to get in there to your armpit or your side. But yeah, once I started learning the principle of the X and the hourglass, because the hourglass is also an X if you think about it, my off bodies and my sword kills in general just went way up. But yeah, you would be surprised at just how big of a difference, like, that's how most people try to throw it, but just how big of a difference, like 6 inches makes. Like, just that's huge right there opposed to this. The angle that you get is way better. You can see it. Visually, you can see it like that. And that makes the difference between landing it and not landing it. 100%. Alright, so I've been dying mostly to this though, so let me practice that. Because this training is mostly about rubbing out mistakes. And I need to be covering out too. This is shield bumps. I need to cover. start. All this movement, my stomach's starting to get upset. Put that down for just a second. Yeah, I hope I'm not getting a cold, man. Like, seriously. Seriously. It's like I get waves of nausea. So when you're training these things, like I like to talk to myself in my mind. It's kind of hard to do as I'm talking on the video, but I'm cementing a situation to look for in my mind. So I'm telling myself as I'm approaching, okay, they got sword leg forward, because that's very big if they're right-handed. If I'm going to land the off leg, you're wanting to catch him stepping with the daggone sword leg forward. So I tell myself, look for the sword leg. And then you just slide across, do your thing. Although my thing was, I've been landing off of this house block, it just goes right here, and I'm hitting almost everyone above the belt, and if they're caught in the middle of firing, I'm actually hitting them like right back here with that shot, really deep on their back and their side, and it's because their body's rotating. So that's another thing. Tell yourself in your mind, look for those situations. Telling yourself during training what to look for, what to look for, what to look for, and then train a whole bunch of different situations like that, it's going to make you very deadly. Because you're talking about shaving a lot of time off of your stuff. Like, when you recognize an opening, you generally have to see it, then you think about it, and you're like, oh, by then in most cases that opening is no longer there. But if you taught your subconscious mind what to look for, because you told it over and over, it sees and it reacts. Because it knows that's what you want to do, because you have told it umpteen jillion times that's what it needs to look for. So that's how you shave time, and you get very good and very quick when you come across a situation that you recognize. All right, so I think a few more, because my stomach is really getting upset, and I just need to like stop. I'm not sure if I've done 100. I think a lot of these are 2-part combos. But yeah, my apologies today. I'm just not feeling it, so I'm actually going to go ahead and call it. I'm hoping to feel better tomorrow. Because I want to do, after episode 72, I want to do the hourglass instructional video for y'all. So, hope this helped. Catch you in the next episode.